Hey, I'm Marina.
And I'm Emily.
And I've seen everything in the Sex and the City empire 10,000 times.
And I'm starting fresh.
So I'll be woman-splaining the show.
And I'm along for the ride.
But there's a twist. We are starting with And Just Like That and working our way back to the beginning.
So in other words, we're watching it backwards and in high heels.
This is City and the Sex. Hey, hey, now, hey, now. Okay, no, that's a different show. I'm so sorry. Welcome. This is Sex and the City Season 5, Episode 7. Oh my God, we're only 2 episodes. It's penultimate.
Yes.
Penultimate.
Is that not crazy? Wait, remind me again. Is the next one going to feel like a finale, or does it just end abruptly because they were not ready?
You mean season 6? You mean the next season?
The next episode.
Season? No. They planned this.
They planned this. Okay.
It is planned. So it ends with a finale feeling.
Okay.
But so it doesn't just like fall off the cliff. Luckily.
Okay, great.
Thank God. My big takeaway, honestly, from this rewatch for me is like so many people shit on this season. They're like, oh, it's when stuff really started going downhill. And I like a lot of these episodes.
That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't. Maybe it's because I'm coming from And Just Like That. My threshold for like how bad this can get is so much more different than if I start from the beginning. But I have not seen anything that is like nearly that offensive.
Yeah, no. We'll see. I guess we'll be able to judge in the long timeline retrospect of understanding.
Yeah, but I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying these episodes, even the ones where I'm like, I'm still enjoying. Do you know what I mean? I'm never bored.
100%. Before we get into it, I do want to state for those of you who are watching, I have a little bit of a cold. I have a little leaky nose. So if you see me dabbing up in my nostril, I swear it's not snuff. This isn't the 1700s. I'm just suffering.
The woman dabbed her nose with a suspicious handkerchief.
Yeah, so I just feel the need to state that before everybody's like, Marina looks crazy, which I knew you were saying anyway.
Yeah, we read the comments. Ha ha
ha. Okay, so what was your one word for this episode?
It's got to be Amtrak.
Hey. Did you know this is Joe Biden's favorite episode? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And guess who our guest is for this episode?
Oh my God, can you imagine? Former President Joe Biden.
The only interview he agrees to do anymore is just this, to discuss Amtrak's episode of Sex and the City. Have
you seen that Today Show clip? I think it's Kathy Lee and Hoda, and they're like interviewing a woman, like a woman's coming on to do a cooking segment. And then they're like, before we get to the cooking segment, we do have to say that your husband was arrested this morning for like insert crime that I don't remember. Like, can you respond to that? And then this woman has to be like, well, blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, okay, so show us your meal. Like, it's like the most awkward thing of all time.
What?
Yeah, it's one of the greatest clips of all time. If I can find it, I'll drop it in here.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But what I want to do with Joe Biden in this episode is first we say, so Jill Biden's ex-husband was arrested. And can you respond to that first before commenting on Carrie's Amtrak fashion?
Great. Now that that's out of the way. What recipes have you brought for us, Joe?
What recipes have you brought for us today? My one word has got to be big.
Big?
Girl. Gotta love it. The episode title is The Big Journey.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I've been waiting all season long to get to this one.
This one's really, and the fact that I think this is the only episode he's in.
Of the season?
Yes.
That makes sense. And I think that's delightful. I think it's hilarious that he hasn't been mentioned really significant, like pretty much at all this far, and has not been seen. And this is his only appearance. It just is more and more delightful to me. He just continues to become like this funny side character that inexplicably at the end of the show they're going to be like, he was her lost love. And I'm like, he's not even around. He's not part of the story.
Isn't that crazy that like we almost get 2 episodes with him where Carrie essentially sort of says, I'm over you. And then he inexplicably saves her at the end. Like, that's all I could think about during this episode is like, wow, she's really here just for carnal knowledge.
Yeah. Their dynamic was completely different. And like, it just gets more and more shock. It gets worse. The ending gets worse the further we go on, and more inexcusable to me.
Well, just wait till you see when he does actually bad stuff.
I know. I mean, I can't wait for Villain Big, because we're currently in like weird puckish Goblin Man Big.
Hot Tub Big. There's
Hot Tub Big
and Hot Tub Big. And then there's Dead Big. And that's his Pokemon evolution. So let's get into it. This is Sex and the City, Season 5, Episode 7, The Big Journey. Carrie's at dinner with the girls, and she makes the quip that's something like, you know, you have to meet in the East at Compass to discuss going west. And we learn that she has a book tour in San Francisco. I think one of the big things overall that I love about this episode is, again, like there's something about the book tour that it feels so Barnes and Nobles. It feels so of the time, and yet is so fun that when we were rewriting And Just Like That, I was like, why not do it again?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I see now why you also brought it up as a pitch, and it made more sense. And I'm now seeing the parallel too to they tried to do what I feel like was a stealth callback in And Just Like That, but it just didn't work at all. Like the in basically inviting Samantha to kind of third wheel her like maybe secret, like maybe flexible secret hookup with like Big while on her book tour. To me, reminded me of inviting Seema to third wheel to her like maybe flexible, I don't know what's going to happen hookup with like Aiden on her other book tour.
Wow. I did not make that connection at all, but you're so right.
Right?
That's crazy. Except it's so bad.
It's so bad.
Think about
it's so
that.
much worse.
They go to Virginia and make 12 jokes about being fat.
Yeah.
Not my words. Not my words. I believe it was a heart healthy. Mama's got heart healthy, as I recall the dialogue saying. I just want to be clear.
And they're like, chicken, fried chicken. They love it here.
They love it here. Let's eat fried chicken in bed. And then they back up. Then they've given 2 sets of directions somehow that are so confusing and back up onto the tracks.
Yeah.
And then she abandons Seema. And there is no like, well, girl, still love you.
Yeah. We never see Seema again. She's just like, go get it, girl. I'll see you back in New York.
I didn't make that connection at all. And that is really sad. Because essentially they did take my pitch and they ruined it.
But did it worse. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like your pitch is smart because your pitch is like the callback but evolution of it. You know what I mean? Like it is like kind of like winking at the camera to do it again and then run into Aiden. And actually, like, have that meet cute really happen and, like, develop. Like, that, I think, is really smart and clever. And then also it doesn't involve a third wheel getting dragged along. But they were like, no, let's just kind of take the worst elements of this and make it worse.
And do that. No, that's going to keep me up tonight. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to close my eyes and all I'm going to see is Seema driving back over those rakes in the ground.
The spikes.
Oh God, that did not. And she even says like she could have gone to South by Southwest and she chooses to do that instead to be near Aiden. Like, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's going to San Francisco. Much more fun.
Yeah. Yep.
And, you know, she says, I'm very big in San Francisco. And Miranda says, you mean big is in San Francisco. And Carrie basically is like, I need to have sex. I haven't had sex and I'd like to have sex.
Yeah, I think this is kind of interesting. I mean, kind of like what you said, not to just repeat, but what you said about the like weird relationship with them, like, and how she seems so over him. This was really surprising to me, actually, because like her openly saying that and then the friends kind of like smiling at me like, haha, yeah. And being kind of accepting of it was really surprising to me because I was expecting him to be like the devil. And then her to mention this and them to like throw things at her and be like, no, you can't go. You know what I mean? The fact that they were like, oh yeah, you should go have sex with him. I was like, wow, there's a lot that I'm like impressed that Carrie is really over him. And also maybe there's something I missed. I'm just very intrigued by this reaction. It was just not what I was expecting at all.
I think what we get here is very similar to the go get our girl conversation that happens in the next season, which is like they've been given dialogue to support Carrie, but their eyes and faces are clearly disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
When she says it, everybody isn't like, yeah, you know, whatever. I mean, I think Samantha is, but that's because, you know, she's Samantha. But everybody else, I mean, their first thing is to be like, well, what about those hot guys over there? You know, like,
yeah,
like,
that's true.
Miranda's like, you live in a city of hot guys. Like, why Mr. Big? Which, by the way, yeah, what?
Yeah, yeah.
It's always been him. I saw 4 girls in a restaurant and it made me realize it's always been him.
I saw 4 best friends and it made me only wonder, what's Big doing right now?
So, you know, Samantha at the same time while all of this is happening is sort of revealing that she's just bored. She's bored with the scallops. She's bored with the men, as I think Carrie puts it, been there, done them, existential crisis. And we end on this quip. And so it's not New York, it's same York.
Good one.
Fantastic. I also love her fish earrings here.
Oh my, wait, who's wearing fish earrings? I missed
Samantha is wearing earrings that are like like the bones of a fish.
How quirky.
Get it on my body.
Yeah. I gotta pay more attention to Samantha's earrings. Like we always talk about Carrie's fashion, etc., but I gotta pay more attention to whatever is going on with Samantha here.
Her earrings are always like a thing to be looking at.
Yeah, which is frizzle ass earrings.
As a person who also only wears earrings, I relate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
But Carrie's insistent that she, you know, wants to go over and ask the guys, could one of you lay on top of me for a while? I need to feel the weight of a man.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. And then I do like Miranda's little back and forth here where she's like, this is when I wish women could go to male prostitutes. And Samantha's like, women do. And then Miranda rolls her eyes and then smiles.
What was that?
I side with Samantha on that one. Like, calm down.
Yeah. I mean, they can.
I mean, they can. And then Carrie says, no, they're implying male prostitutes are only for bad screenplays and first novels.
This is one of those things where I just like choose not to comment because I'm like, is this just a thing from me being a child at this time so I don't understand?
I just don't understand the bad screen. You're right. I can't tell if that's some sort of dated reference that I don't understand anymore.
Yeah.
Or is it just that women are the bully pinata this episode?
Yeah. Or is it both? Comment below and let us know.
Could be either one. Then they could joke about, let's open a brothel. And then they'll like, we'll put it on every corner like Starbucks. Starfucks? Excellent.
This is good. This just seems like this is a sneak peek into what it's like when Marina and I get dinner.
Yeah, actually.
This is how we talk to each other.
Uh-huh. And then Charlotte says, no, women need to feel things. And then we learn that Carrie has decided to take the train to San Francisco because flying makes her nervous. And this, I couldn't tell if this was a 9/11 reference or not, because she's like, I don't like the National Guard going through my bag.
I think that is.
Dun.
I totally missed this line. I just remember watching them walk to the train and being like, wait, I missed something. Why are we taking the train? I completely missed this. That is definitely a 9/11 reference.
Yikes. Okay. And then she says, but Samantha should come with me. And Samantha's like, sure, why not? So then Carrie's at home. She's clearly laid out her sex outfit on the bed, which is a detail that I really enjoy.
This is real.
And then she says, are women looking for a certain thing, but not necessarily involving a certain ring? And ends on the quote, are we the new bachelors?
Okay.
Sure. I mean,
yeah, if you want.
I think Samantha has proven that theory. I think that's her whole character, but okay.
Yeah, I think we're there already. I mean, but this is the framing that Carrie must use every time. So like sometimes you get this funny result where she's like, are women the new this? Like a generalization thing of like, are we just looking for this? Have we become boring? Has life passed us by? And it's like she's speaking to just how she feels in a specific moment, but she has to make it this very general statement. So to your point, it is kind of funny that she's saying this while we're seeing her go to meet Samantha, the female bachelorette of our time.
Incredible. And then we cut to the two of them at the train. Can I say, had to pause the TV. First of all, I love we get a lot of shots in this episode of the two of them where it starts at their shoes and goes up. And it's like very clearly a Some Like It Hot reference, which this whole episode is sort of calling back to, which is a movie that I love that everybody should see. Marilyn Monroe, Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis. But I did have to pause where I was like, I could not imagine getting on an Amtrak train in heels.
It could not be me.
A worse hell does not exist.
I mean, this sitcom buffoonery that we're about to like be subjected to can only work if Carrie and Samantha just have no idea what Amtrak is. Just have never met a person that has interacted vaguely in the distance with an Amtrak train. You know what I mean? Like for them to be dressed this way and her with the lacy gloves, like.
What also kills me are the suitcase setup, which I had to rewind and rewatch several times because I was like, it is unhinged. So she has a roller bag, like the small size roller bag. This is Carrie I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. She has a hat trunk specifically for one hat. She does not wear a hat the whole episode. She has a flat clutch that's like the size of a sheet of paper. So it's like a big clutch, but it's like a wristlet also. So it's like a huge flat wristlet.
Okay.
And then she has what is the iconic Vivienne Westwood trunk, which is the white and pink trunk, which we see many times. I think when we see it in I think we see it in both movies. I think we see it in Just Like That once. Like it is a prop that they call back to several times. I think she takes it to Paris. Like it's one of those Carrie items. But like, can you imagine walking to the Amtrak and in one hand, you're rolling a suitcase with a hat box and a paper-sized clutch in one hand. And then in the other hand, you're like holding up a trunk. Like I was like, I know everybody's going to be like, Marina, it's a TV show. It's called a fantasy. But like I've ridden the Amtrak probably at this point. I've got to be nearing 100 times, if not more.
Yeah, yeah.
Because on average, there were several years there where I rode the Amtrak at least once a month. So that's at least 12 times a year. And I've lived in New York for 8 years. So somebody do that math. I've ridden the Amtrak a lot, okay? And I fixated. I'm so sorry. This is gonna be my Carrie would never afford that apartment. This is gonna be my hill. Yep.
Yeah. Because like I said, it's like it is insane. The level of disconnect these characters have to have with the Amtrak for them to even show up this way.
She deserved that pimple. She deserved it.
She deserved it. That was from the Amtrak gods.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like to even go through the station and not occur to you that like nobody is dressed like it's like not even that they're like dressed for what would be the first class of an airplane. You know what I mean? It's like they're also dressed for like a train from the 1930s. You know what I mean? It's like they're so wrong. They're like don't even have the time period right. They're like you said. There's like hat boxes. You know what I mean? She makes a reference to Murder on the Orient Express, and I'm like, yeah, I think you guys were expecting like 1930s Orient Express train, like a steam engine. That's the like. I think that's what they thought was happening based on how they're dressed.
Yeah, which I do kind of love. Like obviously they're playing all this up for the comedy, but the suitcases I couldn't get over. Yeah, as you say, Carrie says they're in a first-class sleeper berths, and obviously they are terrible.
They have not changed one bit either. Like,
You could not catch me dead on a sleeper train.
no, not even sort of. It's like if you look at the like quote unquote first class options or whatever, it's like I think maybe the tippy top maybe has a separate bathroom. Most of them have the toilet next to the bed, like a prison. Like a prison.
I love here that it's under the shower, which I think I've never seen that in my life. And I was like, I don't know if that's real. I don't know if that's a real design or not, but that is genius.
Yeah. It's horrifying.
That is genius. So then, they make the Murder on the Orient Express reference. And we cut to Charlotte at home. So Harry shows up to give Charlotte the divorce papers to sign. And she's like, wow, a partner personally delivering the papers. Like, that's weird. And he's all sweaty because it's hot outside. He's like, ooh, it's hot. And she's like, excuse me? And he's like, outside. I do love when he's like, so this is the pagoda we are fighting for. And she's like, I'm thinking of selling it. And he's like, are you crazy?
Yeah, I actually would have walked right out of there if she said that. After all of that work we just went through, you have to stay in here for at least another couple years.
Yeah, come on. Also, can you imagine if I was Bunny and I found out that she sold it?
Oh, man. Charlotte,
Death.
You'd have to hire security.
Now that's a Murder on the Orient Express. So Charlotte or Harry is like, oh, my friend has this bachelor pad. It's really rough, but like you could come see it. She's like, don't worry. Like, I'm really good at changing places. This place used to be where Plaid came to die. And then, she sits down to sign the papers and he is just dripping sweat on the papers.
Like, comically, you need to sit down. There might be something medically wrong with you level of sweat.
Like Gatorade ad level of like, and the electrolytes.
Yeah, exactly.
This should have been the ad for Gatorade, 100%.
Yeah, my God. That's actually really funny.
And then, he says, okay. And just like that, you're no longer Mrs. Trey McDougal. And she says something like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that or whatever. And he's like, I like it. And then, he's like, he's wiping his forehead with a tissue as he says this. And he leaves a little chunk of tissue on his head. And she's like, you have some tissue on your forehead. Oh, girl. Never forget.
We've only just begun.
We've only just begun. So then we cut back to Carrie and Samantha on the train. And they're going to have dinner in the club car. And they walk in and Carrie's like, oh, like it's just sort of like a basic, dining car. Mm-hmm. And Carrie's like, I was expecting Bing Crosby singing at the piano. And I do love that Samantha gives her the side eye here.
Yeah. So now we also, both of them are delusional, to be clear. But now we have the pecking order that Carrie is even further than Samantha in terms of what the hell she thought this train was going to be.
Yeah. So then they're forced to sit next to the Amish. And this scene,
oh boy,
I think in hindsight might have made me laugh. After the levels of suffering we've gone through with And Just Like That, I'm like, this is the most And Just Like That scene. Like,
yes,
the harbinger to come. The whole thing that Carrie does where she goes, sorry.
Yes. I was going to say the same thing. Just from the start, this scene was my, like, this is when I started to get really concerned. That I was like, uh-oh, are we actually going to get to a Sex and the City episode that I really don't like? Like, is it, like, because I'm suffering a little bit. It just even walking into, the Bing Crosby thing was what, or whatever she says. I thought there was jazz is one thing. And then to do the, like, oh, sorry, the, like, fake ingenue thing that she does that is, like, to your point, so And Just Like That. Like, her, And just like that made her entire character this version of Carrie, the like fake ingenue. Oh, pardon me. I'm so lost in this scary world. I thought there'd be jazz. Like, is the most aggravating Carrie. I'm going to put that down on the record. More so than chasing big Carrie, this is the most annoying Carrie to me.
Wow, okay, fan them flames.
Aggravating. I can't stand it.
For me, it's just the cheapness of like, and now we're going to talk sex loud in front of a homely person. You know what I mean? It's like,
right, and get looks from them and, ooh, sorry, and oh my God, enough.
Like when Samantha did it with the nun, it was funny because then she also helped the nun. So it was like, the nun is here for comedy, for blatant comedy reasons. But then they subverted it where it was like, and also we helped her. You know, like Samantha and a nun, they shouldn't get along. What was crazy is that Samantha helps her. Kooky world, you know?
Right, exactly.
Whereas here it's just like somebody in the I can feel it. Somebody in the writer's meeting being like, okay, so they're going through the worst parts of our country, AKA not New York and San Francisco.
Right.
Who is the worst person who could sit down next to them? And somebody went, oh, I don't know, the Amish? And then Michael Patrick King went, yes, put it down, write it down.
He clapped like a seal and said, write that down immediately. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. Like, I can just feel it. And that's the and just like that, like, that's like calling to me in the scene. The siren's call of like, cheap joke. Cheap joke. Amish are funny.
Let's mock people. I feel so also validated that you felt this too, because I was going to feel crazy being like, I feel like I'm in Nam again just watching this scene. I'm like, I'm having flashbacks to all of these like horrible things. I'm like, no, this I can't. The fight or flight that kicks in when we have a scene like this.
I actually hit a similar point where I was like, I don't remember this happening.
It's so bad. And then they make the joke of like, the further we get from New York, the uglier it gets. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, so them showing up to the train with the like the hat box and the lacy gloves or whatever, like that is really funny and goofy and stupid in like a heightened way because like they're the punchline. But then you get to like this kind of scene where the punchline is like everybody else and they're just like the innocent, like normal, rich people. And all the like plebeians are like gross and ugly and fat. You know what I mean? It's like, it just gets so mean-spirited so fast.
Yeah, again, I think it is crazy to be like, all the hot people are getting off and all the uggos are coming on. It's like, okay, those are the American people.
Exactly. And I am saying this as like number one absolute snob for New York. It's crazy how I have to come on this podcast and be like, put that instinct away because they make me feel bad. They make me feel like a horrible person.
At least, like, I don't know, even if they had like an obnoxious person, it's like almost that's what the scene is calling for, is like some obnoxious train rider. Yeah. You know, where you're just like, oh my God, people act like this. Instead, this like Amish woman and also then I keep thinking about the mechanics of the Amish where I'm like, I don't think they can get on trains.
Yeah, so maybe this is not the Amish. I don't know.
So then I kept thinking, are they Mennonite? And then I'm like, I'm not Googling.
I'm not looking this up. This is not worth it.
Michael Patrick King didn't look it up. I'm not going to look it up. But that's what I'm thinking throughout the entire scene.
For the rest of the episode, this is your one word for the episode, is Mennonites, question mark?
Mennonites? I mean, it's just like... Anyway, yeah, so they bully the whole train, saying that they're uggos. And then Carrie calls that, you know, she's like, I think the zit is getting bigger. And then Samantha's like, you belong on the train now.
Jesus Christ.
And then a man comes and he says, what do you want? And Samantha says, a martini and an airplane. Which is funny. Okay, funny, I would say. And then he turns to Carrie and she says, what's safe to order? Not funny.
No, Carrie, stop it. It's like now they're the obnoxious passenger that someone else would be looking at being like, can you believe these people? We should have flown.
Yeah. And she orders a club sandwich. Dun dun. Then we cut back to Harry showing Charlotte the apartment.
Oh
dear. First of all, what kills me every time I see the scene is like, why is she wearing like a Judy Jetson dress?
That is such a good reference. That is exactly what it is. That's so funny.
It's like they always give her like a 1950s sort of silhouette sometimes, but like there's something about the high collar of this dress that's like giving
very cartoonish
space mom.
Yeah, it's Lily Pulitzer, but in space.
In space, yeah, exactly. And so, you know, he shows her this like, I mean, it's like the most sitcom bachelor pad you've ever seen in your life. You know, it's got the dark lighting, the zebra rug, you know, the leather chairs, the surround sound, the full blinds or whatever. And he's like showing it off to her. And she says, gosh, you know, it's incredible that men think it takes all this, you know, to have a relationship, like to have sex with women. And Harry's like, so what does it take? Fantastic. Fantastic. An incredible turn, I have to say.
An incredible jaw-dropping turn. We need those reaction videos of like Game of Thrones Red Wedding, like everyone shocked and I needed something of our living room when this happened. And we know he's going to end up with her. We were like, what did he just say? Oh my God, it's happening right now.
It's incredible. I remember the first time watching the series when that happened, being like, as the kids would say, the Riz on this man.
Yeah.
Like, he comes in full guns and succeeds. And he will later, you know, piss himself in jeans at the club. But it'll have been worth it because he was once like this man in this scene.
Who is like, I need you in a primal way.
So he tells her, you know, you're the sexiest woman I've ever met. She's like, I'm wearing my glasses.
That made me laugh out loud. That is so funny. And the I'm just wearing my glasses. Like weird mumbling way that she says it. I was like cracking up through this whole scene.
Amazing.
This was a wild ride of a scene. I was just laughing and screaming.
And then he says, your ex was a putz. She's like, no, he wasn't. He was like, he was a putz. If I was with you, I wouldn't let my hands off of you. I mean, it's like incredible. And then he ends on the t-shirt that I have to make for us, which is like, I'm fucking Romeo over here. A line I feel like I have said.
I think that has crept into your lexicon. I have heard you say this at some point.
Fucking Romeo over. I mean, it's just the delivery, like, because he's just like, his head is gonna pop off. His dick and his head are simultaneously gonna pop off.
He's so horny that his dick and head will go beep, flying off of his body, like a toy.
And then there's something about the acting Kristen Davis does here, where like for half a second she looks really disgusted, like she's gonna storm out or say something mean. Yeah. And so she's sort of like shaking her head, and it's so quick, like quick. In a microsecond, she goes from disgusted to like, now we're making up.
This is again laughing and yelling through the whole scene. I mean, I was like, we were just shouting. We were just like, whoa, what? Again, we know this couple is going to get together. Like, but somehow every line and moment in this scene is still a surprise. You know what I mean?
Incredible.
Thank you for shouting out that one shot and maybe 5-second transformation of disgust to dropping the bags right there and leaping onto the bed.
It's every time I see it, it is so good.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, what's so funny is that it's like this episode, I feel like goes out of its way to make Harry like gross, right? It's like he's sweaty. He's leaving the bits of tissue on him. They've tacked on like fake hair on his back. You know, he's like whatever. And all these sort of things trying to like make him, like mocking the bachelor pad he's in, having him do this really intense, like, I'm in love with you. I think of your lips all day. Like they sort of like make him this weird gremlin man. And then the fact that Charlotte is just into it, I'm like, this is why they're made for each other, is because they're both little freaks. You know what I mean? Like, they found each other in their freaky deaky ways. It's so funny and weird. It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. But also, it's like, I feel like why Charlotte, in a way, gets the best ending out of any of the characters. I feel like she's the one that really comes around to the right lesson for her, which is like, she spends up until this point, right? You know, all her time looking for the perfect man. She's so perfect. You know, she's like beautiful. She has a perfect job. She's very precise. You know, she's a type A, whatever. You know what I mean? And then she encounters this gremlin. Again, Michael Patrick King's words. And just kidding. She encounters this man who is like so the opposite of everything she could actually dream of. Like, it's really like Princess and the Frog. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I would never kiss a frog kind of thing. But all these like perfect men that she was attaining or, you know, chasing or whatever, like, I think what they all lack is this like crazy intensity about her, which is what he has. And like, that's really what she wants, right? Like, she wants to get married. She wants a husband. She wants somebody who's obsessed with her. And there's something about the riz of this guy that's just able to like not be creepy and put it over the edge, you know? It's a miracle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a miracle.
Exactly. It is a miracle. It's like in the hands of a different actor, or just even a different scene, like a different lead up, this would only be played for creepy. And it like kind of is, you know what I mean? Like, it's hard for us because we know that they're going to end up together. But if you watch this just totally cold, it's like, you'd think that the scene ends up with her like throwing her purse at his head and like running out of the room. You know what I mean? Like, it's so out of her nature that you think that's what it's set up to be, is almost that he's just like the weird, creepy, gross lawyer that's like perving after her. And then the fact that she like turns and is into it, immediately you're like, oh, now it's clicked into place. Everything you just said now makes sense of like, oh, this is what she wanted. Exactly what you said. This is what she wanted, is like primal hunger in the form of a man.
It's beautiful.
I love your thesis of, I'm going to be thinking about that, of all the characters to get what they like needed, like lesson learned. That makes me sad about the rest of them. But anyway, we'll continue.
Well, Andros like that is more easily able to undo all their happy endings.
Yeah, exactly.
Cinderella 3 Twist in Time style, for anybody who's seen that.
Love that reference. Okay.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
Girl, get on it.
Okay.
So then we got back to Carrie on the train, and this zit is bigger. She's like, I've had too many club sandwiches, and she's talking to Miranda on the phone. This is Miranda's last scene in this whole episode.
Yeah. I did have the note where I said Miranda ? And it's the last note I took for this episode, because I just remembered, oh yeah, she never came back.
Nope. She's just eating junk food, and then Carrie's like, this is what I get for getting a train facial. And then Samantha bursts in, and she's all like mussied up or whatever, and she says, Carrie says to her, somebody who used to be Samantha just came in. And hilarious. Samantha says, there's a bachelor party in the bar car, get dressed. And Carrie's like, I don't want to do it, you know, like, why? And Samantha's like, I got on the train for you will bar car for me. And then Carrie does the weirdest, like, Zoolander voice, where she's like, I have to go to the bachelor party. It's like a weird Bjork, like Derek Zoolander, like, I have to go to the bachelor party. I'm like, what is this? I can't tell if this is some like it hot reference that I'm not getting. Maybe, I don't know. It's unhinged.
It's like she's doing the ingenue, like, I'm an innocent baby Carrie thing, but she dialed it up too far and then ended up actually talking like a baby.
Yeah, and lost us.
Even Ariana Grande is like, can you relax?
So then we cut back to Charlotte at a gay bar with Anthony. And she sort of postulates the question, you know, can you have hot sex with somebody that you don't like? And he says, the best sex I've ever had is with somebody I can't stand.
Foreshadowing for their marriage, I guess.
Foreshadowing. Again, maybe the worst person to ask about anything. Okay.
Seriously.
And so she's like describing, I love that she's like describing the apartment or whatever. And he's like, leather, I get it, go.
Yeah.
And then he says, you know, how was it? And she says, unbelievable. And then he's like, yes, cosmos for all. Because I forgot, but in a couple episodes prior, remember, he's like, after 6 months, your vagina turns to dust or whatever it is that he says to her.
Yeah, he becomes you become an old crone or whatever he says.
And then he says, ugly sex is hot. And she says, well, you know, I just wanted to be, I guess, about the sex. And he's like, okay, well, you have to be clear about the rules. Fuck me and get out. All right, good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder how this is going to go.
So then we cut to Carrie and Samantha, and they are approaching the bar car, and they're dressed in their finest. And I do love that Carrie has put on like an enormous amount of blush in an attempt to like cover this zit.
Yeah, she does look, again, from the wrong century. Like she looks like she's ready for a Commedia dell'arte something or another. It's like like perfectly circular, rosy cheeks.
I love this establishing shot. Like they get to the car, they're so excited. Then they turn the camera around to show this bachelor party. And it's like the most mid-room of average guys.
Absolutely not. It's like there's nothing about this room that is like, ooh, sexy and intriguing. And also like it's clear they're not here to, you know what I mean? They're like in their slumpy like jackets and as they're drinking a beer. You know what I mean? They're like not even looking at Carrie and Samantha. It's so funny.
See, this is the kind of thing where exactly it's like the joke is still on Carrie and Samantha here. Like they're just average dudes.
Yeah.
Having an average time. They're not fucking Amish.
Yes, exactly.
So, you know, Samantha immediately starts like trying to put the grift on them, you know. She's like, why drink some beers? We should get a bottle of champagne. Do you want to pop my cork? You know, she's really like laying in, and these guys are just like, yeah, okay, lady. And then Carrie makes the quip, some like it hot, some like us not. Nice,
cute.
And then of course Carrie tries, you know, she's like, my friend, she's really into you guys, and they're like, we're all married. Incredible. Incredible. The way that they're like, they're like, I forget what the guy's name is. They're like, Steve's the last one of us. So we're going to go, and I even forget what they're going to do. They're like going to go and play some kind of like golf, I think it is.
Yeah, I think they're all like on a golfing trip or something.
Yeah.
It's fellas time.
And then they're like, yeah, we're going to go play golf. And everybody's like, woo. Like, it's like,
yeah.
It's incredible. And then she's like, well, could you participate in some harmless male flirtation? And they're like, no. She's like, I was a train wreck pimp. It's just so crazy.
Oh my God. And can you imagine if this scene played out with like opposite genders too? If it was the girls out having a girl time and then some guys came by and they were like, pop my cork, and then got rejected. And then the friend was like, can you just engage in some harmless female flirting? Can you imagine what their response would have been?
Terrible.
They would have been, those men would have been dead.
Killed.
Miranda or Samantha would have killed them.
So
I can't believe she said that, but it's so funny.
I just think there's nothing funnier than going to a group of anybody and begging
for flirting
with your friend is after they've told you that they're married. That's kind of like, okay, fine, sorry. You know, it's like the fact to be like, no, I need you to do this. It's like, do you?
Carrie, what did you think their response was going to be? Yeah, you're right. That's fine. My wife's like, I think I think his response is even something on the nose where he's like, well, we love our wives, so.
And they're like so dumbfounded by that. They're like, well, why? Well, you can still flirt with me. It's like, okay.
Like, what's wrong with them?
So then we come back to the two girls in their bunker, and Samantha's like, I think I'm having a midlife thing. And
she's got the bottle of champagne, but all by herself. Very good detail.
And I do love that she's like, I already fuck younger guys, and I don't want to buy a sports car. Parking in New York is a nightmare. Genius. And then Carrie says, I'm sorry about the train. And they sort of quip about it together. Lovely.
Good. Yeah.
Only gets worse from here. Okay, so then Carrie,
I'm just sitting here, I'm just bouncing up and down, waiting for us to get to San Francisco. Because I'm like, I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about it.
So Carrie and Samantha get to San Francisco. We open in this bookstore, and Molly Shannon appears, and she's like, "Yeah, right after you, Mr. Winkle is gonna go." And Carrie's like, "Mr. Winkle," and turns out that Carrie's actually the opening for what is presumably, I would assume, a children's book that features a very cute dog named Mr. Winkle.
Of internet fame.
Yes. Noted of it. It did kill me where I was like, again, back to my idea where it's like, wouldn't it be so funny if then she had to be an opening act for like Grumpy Cat?
Oh my God.
That's
yes.
what this is basically she's an opening act to Grumpy Cat.
Yes. That is exactly what it is. Pre-Grumpy Cat. This is exactly what's happening.
So Carrie's like, you know what? Why don't you, to Samantha, she's like, this has been a nightmare. Why don't you go to the hotel, get in the tub, and just relax in a bubble bath? And Samantha's like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. And then she's like, you know what? I'm going to do it. So then we get this like very weird performance art scene where Carrie's sitting next to the dog, like, I guess while people are coming in. It's a very weird because there's no like green room of any kind.
Yeah, they're just sitting on stage.
And then she's like whispering to the dog, and she's like, I hear this book tour is rough. Cute shirt. Nightmare. Then we cut to her doing her reading, which obviously isn't going well because it's like cell phones are going off, people are coughing.
Right.
She goes, okay, any questions? And a man goes like, when's the dog coming out?
I mean, just shoot me in the middle of, just take me out back and shoot me.
And then,
roll me down the hills of San Francisco.
And then a hand goes up and she says, you over there, I can't see you. Can the crowd part ways? And it's none other than Mr. Big! Ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da-ba.
Can I just say, when this happened, I was watching the show with my boyfriend who has not seen Mr. Big yet. He just like knows, all he knows is I described the plot of the first movie to him and he saw like bits of it. So he knows that he leaves her at the altar in that. And that's like kind of all he knows. So he knows that he's like a bad guy, whatever, kind of. And then he saw this scene with the hand and he goes, okay, I got to admit that's pretty good. And I was like, yeah, the cult is growing.
Yeah, because I forgot to mention, like, in the first scene when they're getting on the train, Carrie's like, oh, I haven't even called Big yet. Like, I'm trying to keep it casual, calling back to and just like that. And and then when they get to the book fair with the dog and it's all so awful, she's like, I didn't even call him. Like, I don't want to live through this embarrassment. So the fact that he's there, it's just like, ugh, I love this man.
It's so good. It is so good. You have to give it to him. Even his biggest haters who curse my name every time they listen to this podcast and we talk about Mr. Big, you got to admit that was a good one. Showing up with waiting for the Q&A and doing hey, is this Mr. Big character? Does he have a name? I mean, come on.
Incredible.
On.
And then she's like, we have to keep the names for privacy's sake.
Ooh.
Love to see it. Then we get one of the most violent scenes in the whole series.
Oh, dear.
Which is Carrie runs to the hotel, swings open the door, is like, Samantha, get out. She even buys her a smaller hotel room down the hall.
Oh, Marina.
For her to GTFO. If I did this to you.
Yeah, wait, let's have a side talk. Hey, everyone who's listening to the podcast, can you just like go outside for 2 seconds? Marina and I just talk. If we're in this situation and you really need to get late and you run in and I'm in the bath and you tell me you bought another apartment, how do I like politely tell you to fuck off? Like, I love you, but how do I politely tell you that I'm staying in the tub?
Why don't you go, hey girl, why don't you go in that room?
Okay. Okay, good.
Like, that's my thing is like, I love that Smith is like, I cannot do another tiny room. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
I cannot either. So you should go.
Yeah, exactly. Like you need to go. Because it's like, again, she's here and it's like, I don't want to be a bad wing woman. Like, you do your thing, whatever. But like, are you kidding me? The suffering that you're subjecting me to just to get laid to this person. Hasn't Samantha already been through enough? I mean, this is crazy. It'd be one thing if she was just sitting on board all day, but it's like after that horrible train ride and now she's in the bath that you told her to take and you kick her out immediately. I mean, I'd be the Joker. I would be the Joker.
Yep.
The Joker of San Francisco. I would be committing crimes in the street.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if you just never responded to any message I ever sent you ever again.
What would happen if I got out of the tub and then left you a note that was like, "Dear Marina, I took a flight home. Good luck."
Good luck. Dear Marina, last night I saw Ron at the club with 2 grenades, and also our friendship is over. I respect it. Okay, and good, Smith, good. I love that Samantha's like, you better F him good because I'm not going to do this again in 6 months.
Yeah, my God. That's a good line. Also, wait, can we just do another parallel that I found from the running into the interrupting Samantha in the tub reminded me of, and just like that, too, the movie. Because I was like, this is the second time that Carrie has interrupted Samantha being in a bathtub and being like, I'm having boy problems. And Samantha's like, I'm coming out. Like, it was when Samantha was having like hormone issues and she goes into the bathtub to like run a whatever and she's got the peaches or whatever on her face and Carrie runs in and is like, I kissed Aiden, and she's like, everybody stop, I'm coming out. And I remember being like, that's so sweet, like the sincerity and seriousness of Samantha being like, I'm dropping everything, let's talk about it. I was like, that's so sweet and cute. Then we cut to this scene and I'm like, this poor woman cannot get a minute of peace.
Yes, you're right. In Dubai, I remember now.
She needs to lock her doors.
Terrible.
Well, she actually should learn to lock her doors after the whole blowjob incident at this point.
Yeah, at this point, nothing is sacred, nothing is safe.
Carrie's coming in.
What's the worst part of it, too, is that Carrie goes, okay, snap it up, let's go, quick, thank you, okay, bye. First of all, it is so against your character to even ever speak like that to literally anything. If you, like, I would be more likely to speak to you like that. If I ever do, just cuff me. I don't care. 911, NYPD.
I think you and I need like a little water bottle, like those spray water bottles for like cats. And it's like, if any of us dip into this kind of behavior, we're, forgiving, like, complete forgiveness allowed to spray each other.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay, chop, let's go. Yes.
Step it up, let's go. Let's pick it up the pace. I mean, shudder, full body chills. Big comes up to the room and he's like, did you hide the body? Why'd you have to keep me waiting for 30 minutes? And then he's like, do you want gum? I got big reds.
This made me laugh so hard. I don't know why. I have a bullet point that's just big red in big letters. I don't know, it's the way he said it is so funny. He goes, big red. I'm like, why is everything he does so stupid and funny?
I love it.
It's so good.
I love it. He's like that archetype of the dad that goes like too far for their kid. Like they like print a picture of the kid on a shirt at the sporting event. Do you know what I mean? Like he's like that, but like for his own character of Mr. Big.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Like instead of doing that for a child, he's doing it for the fake character that she has written about him.
That is such a funny description. Proud stage parent for like himself.
And I just love in general, he just like is confused like a child in this whole scene. He just like acts like a baby. It's incredible. He's like, nice digs. And then, they're like having fun with the gum or whatever. They like split a piece and then she like lunges at him and then he like pushes her back. The way he says, well, I swallowed it, makes me laugh every time. He's like, I swallowed it. It's like,
this man, this is the angel of death being like, I'll let you live this time.
Yeah. And then, she's like, she's trying to imply like, let's get down and dirty. And then he's like, no, I made dinner reservations. Let's catch up. So we see them at dinner. And
hilarious that Carrie also did not know what the plan was. So she kicked Samantha out to be clear, she kicked Samantha out without knowing that we even had plans.
Don't get me started.
Samantha's sitting in this like tiny hotel room right now while they're eating dinner,
just staring at a wall with no tub. So, you know, Big compliments her book cover. He's like, you're cute and sexy. I went to the store and I read it cover to cover. And she's like, wow, really? And then he goes, I have no idea I hurt you so much. And then she's like, well, you read my columns, right? He's like, I did, but it was really hard to read just one after another in one sitting, like bam, bam, bam. And then she's like, it's fiction. It's fiction. It's in the past. And, you know, she's like trying to kind of like tone down, being like, it's really not that bad. It's not that bad. And I love that he's just like, so with my apartment key, was I really that much of an asshole? Like, he is just, what an unhinged choice that is genius.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is so smart. This is such the right comedic choice to like get them in like, genius. Chef's kiss. I'm fine with how it ends, but I also would have just been as happy if the episode kind of ended this way, where they just like don't get to hook up because of this stupid thing. Like, this is so funny. And then to have Carrie be sitting there being like, no, it wasn't bad. He didn't hurt me. It's fine. You know, just trying to wave away. And Big is finally giving the apologies and saying all the things. And my God, I hurt you so bad. And all these sort of like, you know, he's trying to empathize and sort of tiptoe his way toward like making amends. And she's the one who's like, no, you have to have sex with me. That is like a genius comedic turn. And I love it.
That a year later we get, because I don't live here anymore. And he was trying to apologize now in Napa. Ugh. It's
Boo. Boo.
I love this man. That is my hot take in the year of 2026, is that Mr. Big has only aged better with time, much like Napa wine. Can you believe if I wrote that cut article, the way that I would never be able to live ever again? Maybe I should. Okay.
Maybe.
So then we come back to Carrie and Big in the hotel room, and he's like reading passages aloud. It's incredible.
He's like so taken with it. It's so funny. He's like, no. But the fact that he keeps bringing up, he's like, page 39. We got to talk about it. He's like 39. So deep into it. Like, I have the feeling he's like flagged the corners. You know what I mean? He's like really analyzed this book in detail.
You know, she's like, can we please stop talking? And he's like, I don't want you to get hurt again. And then she's like, I get it. You were unavailable. Like, it's my fault. You were unavailable and you were very clear about that, which, like, again, I don't live here anymore. And then he says, when it comes to me, you clearly don't have good judgment.
This made me howl, Marina. I was like, oh my God, he said the thing. He's reading the forums.
They know what's happening.
They know what's happening. They know all your spicy takes about how Mr. Big was maybe not that evil. And he's saying, right, that this is so, the fact that she says you were unavailable. I'm going to be thinking about this as we descend into evil Big. Like, jokes aside, he's about to become emotional terrorist, Mr. Big. As we descend into the hell of that, I'm going to be thinking about this scene the whole time. The whole time. We should get that on the soundboard so I can just, like, play it.
I just play this over and over again. Just when it thinks it comes to me, I just don't think you have good judgment. I mean, it's like, it's one of those meta moments. Do you know what I mean? That is, like, clearly this is what people are saying in, like, criticisms and whatever. And it's also what the show is sort of about, right? But, like...
Yep.
It's just so genius. And again, it feels so final. And then they're going to get married and he's going to leave her at the altar.
Boo.
I love this man. Okay, so
I love this.
You know, she's like, why can't we have sex, basically? And he's like, I just don't want you to be sorry about it later. And then she's like, don't I look fine? And then he's like, but page 39. Love it. I'd like to read now from the Sex and the City Kiss and Tell show Bible.
Yes.
I'll say that the blurb this time is literally like 2 sentences.
No.
But It's the best I can hope for. Okay, so this was The Big Journey, written by Michael Patrick King and directed by Michael Engler. And Michael Patrick King says of the episode, "We had talked for years in the writer's room about Big's reaction to Carrie's column. We wanted to find a way to show that Big had, in our minds, slowed down. Napa is a different frame of mind. He had time to sit and reflect. He was able to miss what they had, and he was ripening a little bit, like wine. Big feels to me like he's slowly ripening and becoming the man Carrie had hoped he would be."
Ripening like a fine wine.
In Napa.
In Napa.
He goes to strip malls now. He is changed. Incredible. Incredible. So then we cut to Charlotte and Harry post-coitus, and Charlotte's really trying to lay down the hammer. That's like, this is not about love. This is about sex. He's like, "You're so beautiful and your skin is so smooth." And she's like, "You have a hard dick." Again, the way she says it is just like perfect.
Yeah.
And she says, "You can put on your pants and go. Is that okay?" And she's like, she says again, "This is just about the sex." And he's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Yeah." I love again here a micro expression of like, "Yeah, I did the thing, but also, did I want the thing?"
Yes, exactly. The face journey that she goes on. "Yeah, I did it, but come cuddle with me."
Yeah. Genius. Then we cut to Carrie in the hotel, waking up to the wake-up call the next morning, and Big is asleep next to her with the book over his face. I would not have him any other way.
Like, I'm sorry. That's fantastic. This is fantastic. Him falling asleep with the book on his face.
10 out of 10. What's even more 10 out of 10 is that he starts to make moves on her. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, "What about all those concerns?" And then he says, "Fuck it. You need material for the sequel."
What a line.
"I'm proud
no one can
to
compare.
Be an American. Or at least I know I'm free." I mean, thank you.
I'm sorry, but the dialogue goes up 300% in quality if Mr. Big is on screen.
1,000%.
That's unfortunately a statistic that we have to wrestle with.
I'm sorry.
In our feelings with Mr. Big. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. To the American public, I'm sorry. But that is genius. It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up.
Yeah.
And yet you're like, this and the Heart episode really mirror each other. But here, where it's all comedy, the Heart episode is more like tender, because he's like dealing with whatever. These two episodes are not alone to justify that they should end up together. It's crazy to me that Michael Patrick King thinks these two episodes alone are going to do that, and him in the hot tub are going to do that.
Right.
Incredible.
But, and this, it's also like, it's so real again to the like him being the dude of dudes is like, yeah, he, it's just like male morning horniness remains undefeated. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, that is exactly what would happen, is that he wakes up and he's hard as hell and he's like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that is exactly what's going to happen to Mr. Napa, right? I mean, undefeated. And then Carrie's like, finally, yay.
Incredible.
But to your point, too, it's like, to go from this to what we're going to see later, Michael, no. You misunderstood the genius of what was happening here.
You didn't know what you had.
You didn't know what you had.
Till he was gone on the Peloton.
Till he was gone.
Gone. So then we cut to Carrie at the book reading, and she's reciting a column line that we hear in a prior episode. I don't remember which one. Sorry. I'm not an encyclopedia. But she does read a real column that we will eventually hear again, where she says, "Something so small could suddenly be so big." Dun dun. Mm-mm. And then Samantha shows up and she's like, "I've got everything on the car ready to go. And, I've sent everything over." And then Carrie's like, okay, well, I'll, I did have sex. And Samantha's like, thank God. And then she's like, I'll tell you all about it on the train. And Samantha's like, no, I booked an American Airlines ticket, first class, and a Valium. I think that's another line of 9/11 reference. American Airlines.
Yeah, she's like, respect our troops, Carrie. We're going on an airplane.
So then Samantha says, get me to New York. And Carrie's like, well, what about your midlife crisis? And Samantha goes, who's midlife? And I love this closing shot. That's the two of them. They go through the door and they're getting in the car. And then the doors slowly close on the episode and our lives. Genius. Genius.
Very tasteful.
And that is the episode. A doozy. Some high highs, some low lows.
But this is the case every time they leave, like New York, where it's, you're going to get high highs and low lows.
Yeah. So we end every episode as we end with every episode with our high and our low, our rose and our thorn. Emily, let's start with the negative. What was your diarrhea of this episode?
Calling the Amish people uggo to their face while like sitting next to them.
Yeah. I mean, in general, it's just all the train stuff. I think the desperation of those guys. Capital S, sad.
Yeah.
What was your high of the episode? What was your release the Kraken?
Mr. Big raising his hand and saying, this Mr. Big character. Do we know his name? No notes.
Yeah. I think for me, it's got to be that scene with Charlotte and Harry.
The
bachelor pad.
You're the sexiest woman I've ever seen.
Fucking Romeo
my glasses are on.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's the level of goof troop that And Just Like That is going for and never reaches.
And never achieves. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. A lot of kookiness in this episode, but if we learned one thing, it's that Amtrak, book your ticket now. Want to see Marina at her lowest low, going up and down the Acela corridor? Book your Amtrak. And while you're there, like and subscribe this episode. Watch us on YouTube. Follow us on Patreon. What else is out there? Again, stars. Talk to us. Talk to your family members about us. Whatever you want to do. We stand with you. And I think now, after an hour plus of talking, we should turn to our guest. Please join me in welcoming former President Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.